Kel-Tec Sub 2000.
Hi, welcome to my channel. This is a Kel-Tec Sub 2000 Gen 2. Now, I had a Gen 1 before, but there was a lot of deficiencies and my son ended up modifying it quite a bit. So I got rid of that, got a Gen 2, and today I'm gonna make a comparison between this Gen 2 to what I can remember the Gen 1 was. Okay. This is the 9mm. They also come in a 40 SNW. Now let me get rid of the specs. This weighed in at 4.4 pounds. The overall length is 31.5 inches. Folded is 18.5 inches. LOP is 13 inches. The trigger pull is anywhere between 4.5 to 5.5 pounds. The barrel length is 18.5 inches. This cost me about $750 Canadian, but its MSRP is about $1,000. I know it's a lot more expensive in Canada than it's in the US. Okay. Like I said, it comes in 9mm and 40 SNW. This one is a 9mm and it comes in a variety of configuration magazine. Okay, this happened to be Glock and it comes in SIG and whatever. There's quite a few of them, but I find this magazine, once you pass 5 rounds, it gets rather difficult for me to load. So next thing is I'm gonna start from the back and work my way to the front. Okay, if those who aren't familiar with this Sub 2000, the way you unfold this is there is a lock in the back right above the butt plate, and you simply pinch that like this and move it to the back, and the barrel moves upwards like this. And as you're doing that, your rear sight pops up and then you click it down like this. Okay. Now, the significant improvement came in the butt plate area. The design is completely different, although there is a sling loop, but they also put another ring here. But the big change is that it's adjustable in 3 different positions to a total of 1.25 inch of travel. So this is the shortest. You can go out another 1.25 inch. Okay, and it's very simple. You see this pin here, you push it either direction. You have to use a tool. Push it out, okay, and of course it's spring loaded. Once you pull the pin out, you move it to the next hole, and then you push the pin back. It's not that simple, but you know, it can be done. Now moving forward is the cocking handle. The cocking handle is just below the tube, and that hasn't changed from the Gen 1. You pull this and there's an extra safety, and you just basically tilt the cocking handle to the right and it locks in place. Okay, that's an extra safety. Or you can push it like this to cock. Now the receiver area, the also big change is this texture on the grip has changed a bit, and I also believe the The ejection port is slightly bigger, but the brake is same as the Gen 1. The sight is the same, that hasn't changed. And the mag catch on this side is also the same. And it does drop forward. The magazine does drop forward. Okay. Now, one big change came is in the handguard area. The previous Gen 1 were more squarish and it lacked rails and M-lock. There was nothing like that. This one, it has a slight taper on it. It gives you a better grip. Also, of course, it has 5 slots for the M-lock on each side. Also has rails on top and the bottom. I would say the biggest problem with the rails, that's really good for a red dot and not for a scope. And I wish they put some rails over here for a scope. Even so, even if it had a red dot, you couldn't leave the red dot on here, because when you want to fold it, of course, this is going to be in the way, right? You can't fold it up. I know there are adapters that tilts the red dot out of the way so you could fold it, but then it takes away from the compactness. Okay, but this is still a big improvement over Gen 1, but didn't have the rails, didn't have the M-lock, and didn't have a nice grip as this. Okay, of course the barrel is made out of steel, the tube is made out of steel, the bolt is made out of steel, everything else is made out of plastic. I don't even know if the front sight is made out of steel. Let me check. It is not made out of steel. I think the front sight is not made out of steel. Nope. And the Canadian 18.5-inch barrel has a threaded muzzle. I believe the US has a 16-inch barrel and it's not threaded. Okay, so that basically is the review. And so the next thing, I'm going to take this to the range and I'll be back. I am back. Now, last week I was at the range and I fired about 100 rounds of Winchester and 100 rounds of Blazer, and I got maybe only 2 failed to feed, but I think that's me. Because I didn't push the magazine all the way in. So generally I was very happy with the function and the reliability of the Gen 2. This is the setup I have with the LVPO. Okay. And simply because, like I said before, the rails was too far forward, even for a red dot from me. I like my red dot a little closer, and so I thought since I wasn't happy using a red dot on this, I thought I might as well set up a scope with this. And because I set this up with a scope, the rear sight had to be removed because it was very easy to remove because it was in the way. Okay. This is typical of what I got with the Winchester, 115 grains, full metal jacket at 50 yards using the LVPO scope. And my first grouping was 2 3/4. The second grouping, I had a flyer, so I didn't count that. Third is 2 3/4. Fourth is 2 1/8. And fifth is 2 1/4. So the averaging of the 4 is about 2 1/2 at 50 yards, which translate to about 5 inches at 100, which is not too bad considering it's a compact backpack gun. I would have done better if it wasn't for this piece of sleeve that keeps coming back and irritating me, and also there's a slight wobble between the barrel and the receiver. But generally, I'm not unhappy with the gun. I think it's a great improvement over the Gen 1, and the accuracy is not too bad. So I'm pretty happy with that. So please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you.